What's up, sheeple? This is the Alien Overlord, aka Alien Corvus here. Update number 5 of my ulcerative colitis, September 16th, 2015. So, I'm pretty much very upset with the treatment I've been warranted with the hospital that my surgeon is at. Today, I was to have a procedure with my surgeon. When we first set it up, he told us that that I was going to be under general anesthesia, which he's used every time that he's put me under, even for the simplest procedure. When we got there, we come to find out that they were not doing it that way. They were doing it the way that if you were to have a simple colonoscopy that way. So like some gas that'll kind of knock you out, but not really like sedate you. Yeah, it's hard to explain, but the general anesthesia is more because like for surgery and stuff, they don't want you waking up. So naturally, that's what he usually does with every procedure for me. But we get there and we find out they're not doing it that way. So we're a little ticked off at about that point. So I'll catch my thought here now. She said that the lady administering the drug said that she's kind of worried about all the painkillers I'm on, that I might wake up during the procedure, but she was going to do her best. You know, it wasn't her fault. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. About 2 minutes into the procedure, I woke up. And I woke up in a lot of pain while the surgeon was just trying to get things open so he could stick the scope in there to look at my J pouch. So he hadn't even got to the scope. He was basically working, well, for lack of a better word, his finger to try to open things up wide enough to get the scope, but he couldn't even get his finger in there, let alone anything else. And I woke up in the middle of that just yelling in pain, so they pretty much stopped after that. I think they tried to knock me out like 2 more times or something, and tried a couple more times, but none of it was working. So they wheeled me to the recovery room, where the guy in the recovery room told me that they couldn't give me really anything for the pain, and that we should, if I'm really in a lot of pain, we should go to the ER. So instead of walking down to the ER, they actually set it up that we could get wheeled down to the ER and get a room right away. So once I got down to the ER, I already had an IV in me, so they hooked me up to some fluids and gave me just 1 milligram of painkillers, and that was that for now. A doctor came in real quick, said some stuff about, she was reading how I was supposed to be hooked up to general anesthesia, and she wasn't sure what went wrong there and why I wasn't hooked up, so I was pretty sure that that's what we had heard as well. So we still are very unclear as to why we weren't and why that happened. So about half hour, 45 minutes, the nurse came in again and he asked how the pain was doing. I said, not good at all. I'm sitting there rocking back and forth in a lot of pain. Not just from my chronic pain that I have in my lower abdomen, but also the pain in my stoma from the hernia that I don't remember if I said I had developed one in my last video, but I believe I did. So I developed a hernia at the stay at the last hospital in my stoma itself, so I was in a lot of pain from that, and a lot of pain from my stomach from doing the prep work earlier, where they make you basically shoot some saline up your rectum to clean things out. So I was in a lot of pain in my stomach from that. A lot of pain in my stoma for the hernia, and then of course my chronic pain, and now of course the rectum pain, where when I stood up while I was in the ER, there was just blood everywhere, and well, of course they didn't give a crap about that, even though I'm on warfarin from earlier pulmonary embolism. They seemed to didn't really care, and cleaned it up real quick and got me new gowns and stuff. And anyway, the nurse gave me a second dose of the IV painkillers, but said, well, you know, that's about all we can give you here in the ER, so yeah, and then just kind of turned his back and walked away before we could ask any questions. Now, I called bullshit on that because they have given me way more painkillers than 2 milligrams before. In fact, just at the ER I was at the other day, they had given me like 6 milligrams the time I was there. And even at that hospital itself, they've given me 10 milligrams when I'm waking up from a procedure. So I know that they are lying. So about 15 minutes, some lady comes in and says, "Oh, this is your discharge paper." Wait, what? We haven't even got to talk to a doctor and you're already kicking us out? Why? So, she goes, "Well, I'll hold off on it and I'll see what the doctor wants to do." And so she walks away, goes, gets the doctor, but the doctor doesn't come right away. About a half hour later, another rude nurse comes in, and he got dreadlocks in his hair, and he's all, "I got your painkillers for you," and want to proceed to give me the painkillers, and I'm just kind of leery that was actually painkillers he gave me, and not just straight saline, because after watching people so long give me the painkillers, I usually see them pull them from the bottle of the painkiller itself, or have a syringe set up with it already in it. But this guy just pulled out 2 saline syringes, opened them up, and inserted them into me, and that was it. So it's not, I didn't feel any relief, I didn't feel anything but more pain, and yeah. So when he left, about 15 minutes later, the doctor finally came in. She said, "I hear you have questions about pain management?" And I'm like, "Well, no. I mean, you guys are just kicking me out of here. Like, nothing's going on." And she's like, "Well, there's nothing more we could do here. You're under a lot of medication as it is, and we can't really do much for you. So my best guess would be to go home and use your medication there if you can, and give the doctor a call tomorrow and see what's happening, and blah blah blah." Like, I don't know. Yeah. So they discharged me. Basically, they just wanted the bed. They threw me out, and I am very, very angry at this, and I feel like I'm not getting the help I need from anywhere I go, And I know that I'm not the only one frustrated by this, and I don't know basically what the next step is. I mean, I could have, the way things went today, I could have stayed at the other hospital and at least got help for all the pain I was in and the stoma and everything. And instead of going home, being in pain all night, going up to this procedure, having it go all wrong, then being told that they can't help me in the ER and sending me home. So right now, I don't know what's going on. Pretty upset, pretty frustrated beyond belief. You know, like I said, we could really use some help, but, you know, no one's willing to help us at this point, and I don't know what else to do. So that's about it. That's about what happened today. You're kind of caught up. If I got any more info for you, I will let you guys know. Have a good night. Peace out.